Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. We are positively in Los Angeles. It is Radio Row coverage, all of it brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. We're letting ourselves play, masking up, and I've had this guy on talking about PSA numbers and his Hall of Fame career. And, when you pulled the mask down, you've got the gray beard, the Lovey Smith thing going on. Michael Haynes joining us here, the Hall of Famer, along with John Warden. We're going to talk about some stuff here and talking about some very serious circumstances here. But let's start with the beard. Now, my hair, you didn't recognize me.
No, the guy said, over there, the guy with the ponytail. I'm like, what?
Yeah, so I'm going to let, this is what I got going on, right?
Yeah.
So what do you got going on under there?
Oh, I got the beard. I got the beard going on.
Look at you, stately.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look stately, John?
He looks very stately.
I wish my wife liked it. She says it's got to come off, but I don't know. I'm starting to like it.
I'm getting itchy just looking at you a little bit. Luke, my partner, he grows his very stately 30-something beard. My beard's weird. Mustache is trash. But I got this going during COVID.
Yeah.
And I'm just letting it go, man.
Might as well.
COVID is a time for change, right?
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's the time for change.
Well, what are we doing here? Because I know you've done PSA for years, and I'm the guy now, 53. I'm 53. My wife's like, listen to Haynes. You got to go see Dr. Sigmund over there,
Well, because of my battle I had with prostate cancer, and that's what you're talking about. I mean, that started my interest in health and wellness and wanting to live a long time. And so I've been more attracted to guys like John Warden who come up with smart ideas to try and help people live longer. And I'll let him tell you about it, but it's a cool app, and I think everyone will enjoy this. And if anybody has done any finances at all and they had to have a credit score for any reason, they'll have a love for what John is bringing to the table.
Well, John,
here.
I saw these sweatshirts. He's good looking. I was at the Wounded Warriors game. I was a play-by-play announcer out there.
Oh.
But, man, it was wonderful heckling Kenny Mayne and Ryan Leaf and having them heckle each other. It was good times. But I saw you out there, and I was wondering what life score is. So I'm glad you stopped by.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. We appreciate it. So what we come up with is how can you measure – you got all this data that's out there, right? And we're living in a data world. And you were talking about how COVID changed things. I mean, COVID made technology advance 10 years in about 10 months.
As fast as my hair did.
Yeah.
Like my hair.
Right. So the idea is like everybody has a phone. So why can't you take the information and put it into and use analytics and machine learning and understand and come up with a credit score for your life and measure things like state of mind, sleep, spiritual health, nutrition, food, and fitness. You can have some cognitive function assessment capability and give people some actionable information so they can live longer and healthier.
By the way, I love this. I look right down here, and the first thing I see, positive change. We're Baltimore Positive. I changed my brand. I've done sports radio for 30 years, last couple of years, just trying to find new information and new things. And every year I come here, and it's not quite Vegas like the technology show, but every year I start hearing about things, and 5-10 years later, when people come around, that it becomes more a part of what other people, that they understand, that you don't have to explain it to them. But how would I get involved? What would be my first step for somebody like me that says, all right, Mike, I'm in. John, I'm in. What do I do?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, lifeaidhope.org, and there's some information there about the LifeScore app. And then the app will actually be available March 19th. And so we're really looking forward to that. And if anybody wants to donate, we want to give the app away to military veterans, first responders, and their families so they can use it for free. One of the big benefits of living healthier is to reduce suicide and reduce suicide ideation. And that's another factor with COVID is, suicides are up so much, like 57%. And we need to do something so that people don't go off the cliff.
I'm just trying to get my arms a credit score for my life because I'm familiar with taking everything in. So this is data that you input, and on a daily basis, the measurement is.
It can vary. So, I try to make it simple, right? So everybody knows 0 to 100. So if you're 90 and above, you're an A. 80 and above, you're a B. 70 above, you're a C. Below 70, hey, you need a little remedial help. You need some tutorial,
Haynes had never been average, right?
No, Haynes has always been like 99, So, he's in that 99 percentile class.
But I might not have always been that in the area of sleep and, different things like that. Maybe spiritual or whatever.
So when you fill us out, what do you find out about yourself?
Well, you find out what your strengths and weaknesses are. And one of the things that we found in all of the focus group testing we've done with the veterans is I always ask people before they take the test, what do you think is going to be your weakest category? And they'll tell me, fitness or sleep or whatever. But then when they take the test, it turns out another category is actually their lowest category, and it surprises them. And it's because the way that you live your life, everything's interconnected, and people don't really connect the dots between alcohol and sleep and fitness and spiritual health and how that affects mental health and how all these things, all these pieces fit together like a puzzle. And so the app, unlocks that, and we have this really cool privacy and security system so that no one can hack your data, and you share the data with who you want, and it has this peer support component, because that camaraderie, that having that like trusted friend or mentor when you're in that hour of need, or hey, what do I do? How can I improve? And the app does that for you.
Mike, I was out on the field the other night watching all the legends play in the Wounded Warriors game. I'm watching a fellow who had nothing below a torso chase Jeff Garcia, trying to get a flag from him. And I'm watching these football players out, and it was fun, competitive, and it got a little competitive, and I was worried the ambulance was going to show up for an ACL or something, or an Achilles for us all over. But being a former player and being invited to do things, whether you're out there running around or just you're out there being Kurt Warner and just being magnanimous with these special children that Snoop brought in, that being a player and lending yourself, your name, your jacket, your ring, not just the things like that affected you, like prostate, but things that can affect other people. I know it's an important part of this week that I see people like you here that want to find out about new things, not just coming by and taking a check for whatever company,
Yeah. Well, I think that, I've helped normalize different behaviors. Like, I've played tennis with people in wheelchairs, things like you're talking about. Everybody, they feel ostracized, I think. Oftentimes they feel ostracized and they don't feel like they're part of the group. But if you welcome them in and you make it, hey, this is a normal thing. You can still play football. You don't have to have legs to play football. You can still play tennis. You don't have to have legs to play tennis. I think it gives people something to strive for, to live for. And for me, it's all about setting goals. And so if the goal that has changed my life more than anything else after my bout with cancer was I want to live to be 125. Well, if I'm serious about that, I got to do the things that are important to live to be 125. So all these things that John mentioned, the mind, the fitness, the nutrition, the food, the sleep, spiritual, they all take a different...
Well, this makes sense for everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody in the audience,
It's if you have a phone, you're a customer. That's the beauty of this app. It's so simple because what we found also in the focus group, because of the privacy and security, and people want to help themselves, they're going to put in they're going to be honest with themselves when they put in their data. They're not going to lie because the only person that really sees it is you. So you're not going to lie to yourself. And so you actually can
I lie to myself all the time. Especially about my haircut, right?
Well, if you have hair as beautiful as that, especially, you took some time to get it there, you want to brag.
All I did was sleep and get up and eat, and it grew, and this is just the way it turned out. But I hope everybody goes out to Life Score. Hall of Famer Mike Haynes usually stops. Give the PSA speech real quick because it is important, and I'm 53, and I need to be beaten up about it.
Well, for prostate cancer, like a lot of diseases, a lot of times people are unaware that they have them. And so, I went to a screening, and that I had already had a physical, so I had no real reason to go to the screening, but I was there because I was working for the NFL, and there were a bunch of other former players there, and they were all getting screened. And they said, hey, would you get screened? Maybe you can encourage some of these other guys that are standing around to do it. So I do it. And
wasn't that your role, always to talk sense into your teammates?
It seems like it. It seemed like it.
I think you went to the Hall of Fame for that.
Well, the other thing about the app that's kind of cool about what he's talking about, though, is if you start seeing your score, like it'll give you trends. So if you start seeing trends,
you're
like
going
your
the
trend
wrong way, right?
Going the wrong way, then you should go. It'll alert you to go to your doctor so you can get that early screening that he's talking about. And whether it's prostate cancer or colon cancer or heart disease or lung disease, these things will pop up on the app, and you'll start seeing these trends.
Well, this is why you're still here, early detection.
Yeah,
right?
it's exactly right. Actually, what actually happened, the reason I feel like I'm still here is because I set a goal. My goal is I want to live to be 125. And because I want to live to be 125, everybody goes, man, I don't want to live that long. I mean, why not? Oh, gosh, I just can't imagine. I won't be able to move. I'm going, okay, so that might be something I should be thinking about. So let me start working out. So I'm working out 4 days a week. It's not like I'm trying to be, a Hercules or anything, but I'm putting in an hour a day, and it's mostly cardiovascular stuff and doing stuff using all my limbs, getting exercise for everything. and I just do it 4 days a week with other guys, and it makes a difference. I'm not trying to run a marathon. Maybe I will be, though, because it might be something I'll put on my list that I want to do.
But see, that's what we're talking about with the app. You put that in there, and then it will predict 6 months or a year from now what your life will be like. That's the beauty of all this analytics stuff. You got to take all these smart guys that are out there and put them to good work, and take this data that you have and then extrapolate what your life will be like in 1 year or 5 years.
Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I know your time is short. I just want to say this on the beer. My wife and I one time, about five years ago, we were out having breakfast, and there was this really dark-skinned African-American man with this silver beard. And he was just striking, like the way Earl Campbell or maybe Lovie Smith has that striking look. And I looked at him, and I said, hey, man, that's a great look. Like people say that about my hair. And he went like this. He went, that's wisdom, brother. That's all wisdom, bro.
I can't say that yet. I can't say that yet. I'm working on it.
Hall of Famer Mike Haynes here. John Warden. It is lifeaidhope.org. I went to Live Aid, but this is lifeaidhope.org, and learn more about LifeScore. Hey, man, we'll see you next year at the Wounded Warriors event.
Yeah, thank you, Nestor.
I appreciate you guys stopping by and having some fun with us.
It was fun.
Always
We'll
good
see
seeing you, man.
Okay.
There he goes. The Hall of Famer Mike Haynes joining us here on Radio Row. I am Nestor. We are WNST AM 1570. Towson, Baltimore. We never stop talking. Baltimore positive.